even now, I would still go out with a white girl. Why wouldn't I go out with her? She's not, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't change my views. I don't hate white people. I hate what white people as a power base is doing to black people across the world. Nothing to do with the individual white.
So you would still date a white woman?
I would go out with a white woman, yeah, why not? I don't understand their people. I would date with French, English, Colombian.
No, I'm only saying because it seems like the stuff you've said in the past, I've listened to some of your stuff and the way in which you.
And what have I said that you feel that would have made I wouldn't chat to white people, and I live in an all bubble, just all black people.
When you kind of say that people are not completely human or alien, you've used the term alien.
Absolutely.
You said they were aliens.
Yeah.
So then it's like
foreign to this world.
Why would you date an alien? In what sense?
Because I'm socialized. You know what I mean? So now people are saying white supremacy. How can it be white supreme and white people are not supreme?
So
you can't execute something that not is. They're not supreme. So how can they then practice supremacy?
I've heard you speak about white people a bit, and I've heard you say something along the lines of, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're subhuman or they're not human.
Well, I believe, this is my personal view and my personal research. I believe that they come from another type of human. You know, you talk about the Noseian, the Neanderthal. We don't have their blood. We don't have Neanderthal blood. Africans don't have Neanderthal blood at all. So they're another type of human, whether it's sub or less or whatever. We do know over the years that they are a very brutal race. We do know that, and we do know that now they're trying to make us seem like we're brutal. But we do know that they have been. They've done some of the Europeans per se across the globe have enacted some of the most vicious brutalities, especially on dark-skinned people.
Or the higher you go, the whiter it gets. Wouldn't that be white supremacy? Wouldn't that be we are the most supreme, we're the whitest?
No, it would just mean, no, they're not ruling supreme. You're saying practice white supremacy. They're not, you don't call them, you know, like you have a supreme ruler, he rules over everything. You know what I mean? He's the ruler of all, he's ruler of everyone. You get what I'm saying? So, oh, the supreme ruler, that he rules the entire country, his word is the last word. They don't have none of that. They're not the best athletes. They don't control all the economics. They're just a race that dominates through brutality. So if that's supreme, I don't fancy that word, because I don't see supreme so brutal. I see supreme as something that is well developed and finessed.
Right.
I don't see what they do, like poisoning people and chopping off people's hands and, you know, murdering people and garrotting them and taking out their balls and all that. I don't see that as supreme behavior.
When you talk about their brutality, why do you think they are like that then?
I have no idea. I think, as again, I'm saying that maybe the idea in the end is to get rid of this race of beings that were here. I don't know whether. See, I don't
go into it, man.
No, I don't have all the answers. See, because people then, you know, I don't want to be arrogant to seem that I have all the answers. I'm researching like everybody else. I haven't spent my whole life as an archaeologist, a paleontologist, a historian. So I'm the ghettoologist, which means that for simple people like myself who don't understand certain things, I'm trying to put it together from my studies. You know what I'm saying? So don't
so you're trying to reach a certain demographic?
Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in what white people might think, because they're the first, you know, when I used to go on the television, they used to say, oh, do we have to call you doctor? I said, I'm not a doctor. He said, yeah, but I'm feeling uncomfortable calling you doctor. I said, and you see how it's spelled? You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. They're a very strange group. So if you try to please them, you're going to end up taking away from the people you're trying to please. That's what I find for myself. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying if you please white people, you end up not pleasing
absolutely,
black people?
Without a shadow of a doubt. We did a whole series of shows telling you what's going to happen in this era because of what they've done to the music. I went on Kilroy. We talked about it on Kilroy, that the music is moving to a point where you're going to create homicidal young children. You know what I mean? And they said, and they've done, and this is what white people do. They go in, they make their own studies and create their own value system and create their own answers and questions. So they can then tell you that music doesn't affect no one. They'll do a study and then say advertising don't affect anyone. They're going to do another study and say that violent games don't affect anyone.
Well, that would be stupid though.
Well, they've done it though. They've done it. They've clearly done it.
Yeah,
you're saying that. You see what I'm saying? They do these things because they have total control of everything. So when they'll tell you that water is good for you and it's great and it's better than even bottled water. And then you find out that it was done by Thames Water. The survey was done. You know what I mean?
So would you say you yourself hate white people?
No. I wouldn't say I hate white people. I was brought up by white people. I mean, not brought up. I sparred with a lot with white people. You know what I'm saying? The first black book I read was given to me by my social worker, a white woman. You know what I'm saying? I've dated white girls. It's not about that. It's about understanding the difference between me and them. Because you don't have to.
You've dated white girls?
Yeah.
But you said they were subhuman.
I didn't say they were something. You said they were subhuman.
You said they were like.
I said they developed from something. Yeah.
They're not
but
human.
This is the tricky part of your type of journalism, right? I'm not saying necessarily you. What you do is like you juxtaposition stuff. You take them out of their timeline. So when I would have said that, when we were talking about ghetto, how many years would that have been ago? Yeah. So what you're saying is, what you're asking then? Do I hold the same views I hold a long time ago? Do I hold the same views now? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Okay.
Or are you saying that I'm saying that they're subhuman now? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. So you.
I don't know what you're saying.
Right.
I'm making it up.
I'll clarify it. So you said you've dated white girls.
Yeah.
But at the time when you were dating them, did you have these same views?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't, I wasn't born like this. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. Of course it is. I didn't know, there's a lot of things I didn't know when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, I no longer put
so you wouldn't date them now?
I wouldn't put my tongue in any girl's mouth now, today. Any girl.
What?
So these are things that you learn. You find it funny, but
no, you're going to have to explain that.
These are things that you learn. I'm just trying to show you timeline, how the timeline works.
Yeah.
I was putting my tongue in girls' mouth 25 years ago, whatever. I don't do it now. So that's what happens in life. You move from one state of mind to another.
Is there a particular reason why?
Because I've just found out about the DNA, you know what I mean, and there is no, in terms of my own research, and remember, I'm not telling you not to do it.
Yeah,
I'm just showing you how stuff evolves.
How you came to
right, and I'm saying that because I realised that it's only, there's nothing in the mouth that's sexual at all. Anything that you put in the mouth is for digestion. Everything that's made in the mouth is to digest. So that means that you're actually digesting somebody else's spit when you in love and kissing them. Even now, I would still go out with a white girl. Why wouldn't I go out with her? She's not. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't change my views. I don't hate white people. I hate what white people as a power base is doing to black people across the world. Nothing to do with the individual white.
So you would still date a white woman?
I would go out with a white woman. Yeah, why not? I don't understand their people. I would date with French, English, Colombian.
No, I'm only saying because it seems like the stuff you've said in the past. I've listened to some of your stuff and the way in which you.
And what have I said that you feel that would have made I wouldn't chat to white people and I live in an all bubble, just all black people.
When you kind of say that people are not completely human or alien, you've used the term alien.
Absolutely.
You said they were aliens.
Yeah.
So then it's like
foreign to this world.
Why would you date an alien? In what sense?
Because I'm socialized. You know what I mean? You're like, you're thinking in a sense of like, just like how some white journalists do. They try to absolute everything and try to turn your words into something like, you'll say to them, I don't like pink. And they go, that means that what you're saying about blue. I'm saying like, what, don't you like blue then? Like, it has nothing. One has nothing to do with the other. Because, we're talking about white power, a white power domination. You know what I'm saying? That you always hear white people said, well, I didn't have no slaves. Probably you didn't.
Right.
But your great-great-granddad might have had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you have always been a working class person since slavery, and you've always come down that line. So maybe you didn't have a slave, for real. That is totally possible. Not every single white person had a slave. But you see, there's so much trickery in conversations and in journalism, especially British journalism, that you can't get a clear line of thought anytime because somebody's always trying to trip. No, that's why somebody's always trying to trip you up. But it's clear. What I'm saying is clear. Obviously, I'm talking about white power, not white individuals. But you're saying that's not obvious.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't sound like that. That's what you're making it sound like. Because it doesn't sound like that to me.
Well, that's maybe because you didn't clarify it.
Yeah. No. Okay, fair enough. If that's what you think.
No, I'm just saying because I said I've listened to a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, because you have a viewpoint.
And you say white people.
Right.
You don't say a white individual. You actually say
white
specify
people,
white people.
Yeah, because it's a generality that's always used when you speak. Everybody say when I say black people can dance, nobody worries about individuals. Nobody goes, well, I know some guy that they don't do that. It's only when you talk about white people and the protectionism that's surrounding around trying to defend yourself as a race that this comes up. It doesn't come up nowhere else. That generality of using the term when you say black people do this, or it's a black youth. Is it every black youth? When you say the black youths are on the street, is it every black youth? Of course it's not. But you didn't think it was every black youth. You only think it's every white youth or white people when I say white people, isn't it?
But the reason why I ask that because in my experience, I've heard and seen a lot of black men disrespect white people, but then go with a white woman. And I'm wondering because when you said that, I'm wondering if you're one of those individuals, because it's like,
No, but
it's,
you-
it's as
you-
if the
you-
white
you-
woman gets a pass sometimes for,
No,
for
but
a lot
that's
of
like
black
a
men.
worship of white women, then, isn't it? It's like you must think that white women are to be worshipped. Like you mean like so white? You know, people diss black women and still go with them. Black men diss black women and go with black women. So what's different to dissing a white woman or a Colombian woman and still going with them? Sometimes it depends. If a man's selling an ideology, that's
So they're
different.
not all alien then.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go on.
If you're selling an ideology, then you have to justify the ideology. If you're just making a comment about the way you feel at a given time, you don't have to justify shit to no one.
Okay.
And you're saying if they're all alien, I'm saying that they herald from in my opinion, they herald from something alien to this planet. You know what I'm saying, or something that's not in harmony with this planet.